My name is Valerie Platsko. I just graduated from computer science at Algoma University, and I'm originally from Tilbury, Ontario. Brain-computer interfaces in general are used to allow people with different disabilities, ALS a lot of the time, to communicate even if they don't have any motor control. So the brain-computer interface systems allow them to communicate just with their brain waves, so it can restore communication in those circumstances. And what my research did is just it allows for faster communication. My thesis involved a preliminary experiment on some of the characteristics of the P300 brain response that is used in the main brain-computer interface that I studied in my thesis. And what we found with that is that it's okay to sort of repeat stimuli evenly spaced, which was previously thought to not be all right. So that opens up a lot of possibilities for how you design a paradigm. And then my main thesis was just modifications to paradigms previously used based on those results that I found. So I think I found that it was about 20% more efficient to use the paradigm that I programmed than to use the previous standard. I have about a 93% average in the computer science program at Algoma. And a lot of the stuff I've done is at Algoma. I was a TA for theory of computing and computer applications. I think it's just interesting that it's a sort of new field with a lot of, there's still a lot of progress to be made in it. And it's not, like there's a lot more possibilities maybe than the field is very well established. And it's also, I mean, I'm glad to be doing something that has practical applications that can, you know, help people.
I'm Steve Morsuit, owner of Miramar Design Studio, which is a full design house specializing in website design. This year we worked on the PUC website, which is www.ssmpuc.com. It was a very collaborative effort with all the staff at PUC. We launched a brand new site that was interactive for the user, but also interactive for the staff at the PUC, that they could log in and edit their own content and keep the content fresh and informative. So the website, we started right from scratch. We rebuilt an existing site that was more focused on the company itself, what the companies, each sub-company did, so the water division, electricity and whatnot. This time we took it at a different approach and made it more customer focused. So we made it more user-friendly for the customer, that within one or two clicks they can find out what information they're looking for. As well, there's interactive forums on there for customers, so if they want to report a street light that was out or tree cutting service, they could submit right online, and a PUC representative will get that and respond to that request. So the site has a custom content management system, which means that authorized staff can log in and edit certain sections. So for example, when there's a power outage, one of the staff representatives logs in, reports that, automatically updates the site, and also sends out a press release to all the press that are registered in the system. Similarly, there's a login for the HR department where they could post jobs. So there's a full job bank in the PUC site, as well as an admin login for just general postings. So when there's a new announcement or a press release, that gets posted by a person quite easily. This PUC site is quite robust. There's a lot of information, and we organize the information into specific categories, but includes something for everybody. There's also a kids section where there's some games. There's the kids zone that they could learn about safety and electricity and conservation. So it does cover a lot of aspects, because the organization does several things in the community, including community fundraising and events and charity events. So everything's pretty much covered. There's annual reports in there. We also create an annual report to an electronic flip book, so it simulates a page flipping format versus a PDF. There was a lot of things incorporated into the site that was not too overwhelming for either the users or the admin. It's very clean and easy to maintain. and we think it's a nice refresh for the PUC.
My name is Paula Antunes. I'm the Senior Research Scientist at Aquatox Testing and Consulting. It's the largest ecotoxicology lab in Canada. And prior to my position there, I was the Senior Environmental Scientist at the Sault Ste. Innovation Centre for 3 years. The research I'm carrying out now is aimed at helping industry meet compliance with environmental regulatory guidelines for soil and water quality. Industry has a difficult job to do because they really need to maximize their productivity and their output, while at the same time ensuring environmental compliance. So the research that I focus on is trying to help understand how their contaminants are going to behave in different soil and water systems, and thereby helping industry make wise decisions of how to modify their process in a way that ensures environmental compliance. The computational model I'm working on for metal speciation chemistry really takes a traditional soil science model where they look at solely environmental parameters, and it puts in a biological component. Before, there were two separate aspects. There was one where researchers would look at the biological effects, and one where another group of researchers would look at environmental quality and the chemistry of the environment. And those two were not empirically linked. So the innovative part of what I'm doing is to link those two components together. So now, instead of inferring toxicity from an exposure that you have, you're actually calculating it specifically based on the thermodynamics of what's happening in that chemical environment. Since I came back to Sault Ste. Marie in 2010, I've been really lucky to work with great groups of people here in the Soo who are dedicating a tremendous amount of their time towards environmental protection and remediation. The Binational Public Advisory Council and the Central Algoma Freshwater Coalition are two of those groups. On a global perspective, we know that the world is changing quickly. There's a lot more pressure for industrial development and urbanization, and at the same time there's a big appreciation of our need to ensure environmental sustainability and the quality of life for future generations to come. And I think now that we're looking at bridging the different sciences together, really looking at interface chemistry and putting things together in a way that we never could, I think that makes a big difference in terms of how we look at setting environmental guidelines, how we advise industry to ensure environmental compliance. So I know that the types of things that my research is focusing on does make a big difference on the international scale.
My name is Daniel Lance. I am 16 years old and I go to St. Mary's College. I have a really big background in theater. I've been acting since I was 10 years old, and I really like getting into stories and stuff like that. And so when I got into film and I was looking at that, and I found like, wow, this is cool. I have theater, I have film, and filming, it's so much better. Like people say, I have the eye and I have a really good shot with doing this. So I really like enjoying it. And I have my own business. I have Lancelot Productions, and I've filmed 2 weddings so far. I also filmed a music video for Dustin Jones and the Rising Tide, and I was the assistant videographer for that. I also filmed the Catholic Education Week video, which was for the Huron-Spear Catholic District School Board. Some of my videos are on YouTube by the Huron-Spear Catholic District School Board, and some are just for fun ones that I got a lot of practice with, and I think practice makes perfect. Shaw TV has come and they asked me to help get practice in tutorials and stuff like that. So I'm taking on, they're doing little interview sessions, and I've got good practicing with that. Right now I'm filming for Les Mis, which is the Miserables production, for Joseph Lozon, Laurent Durat, and I'm just taking behind the scenes action of that, and then I'll be filming the dress rehearsal. I really hope to be an aspiring film director. I really want to go all the way, and I have really great ideas that I think that can help people. I want to do stuff with the community. I want to, not only throw my name out there, but throw Sault Ste. Marie out there and try to get it through film and get all these people involved with it. I think that'd be pretty cool, and film's getting better. It's getting intense, and I think it's a really great opportunity for not only Sault Ste. Marie, but for me as well.
My name is Ken Herndon. I'm the University Librarian at Algoma University, and I also wear a second hat as University Archivist. This project started over 30 years ago with the actual survivors and former residents of the Shingwauk Residential School, and also the Wewinosh Residential School is located here. And for over 30 years, the survivors have gathered to sort of have reunions and to see the site again, sort of come home. And over time, they gathered material, so archives, artifacts, photographs, and at the end, tens of thousands of photographs. And what was really needed at this point was a platform to make these images in particular available worldwide for free. A lot of effort had been put into trying to identify people in the pictures because the survivors didn't really often have cameras and have pictures of themselves and have pictures of family members. So what we did in a distributed kind of way was bring together the resources of the Children of Shingwauk Alumni Association, Algoma University, the Aboriginal Healing Foundation in Ottawa, and others to create an infrastructure for putting all these archival documents and images online. It demonstrates sort of a superior project management by drawing in a lot of people who actually don't really work here for us, and a lot of people who are co-op students are only here for a short period of time, to bring together their unique skill sets, and in the course of running this project, sort of overlay them and overlap them so that at the end of the day you have a sustainable project.
So the size and the scope of the project was we digitized thousands of images. The holdings of the Shingwauk Residential School Center, we have tens of thousands of photographs relating to residential schools and hundreds of thousands of pages of text relating to residential schools. And so we've worked really hard over the past couple of years to make that information searchable online. So we had staff scanning the material, photographing artifacts and documents, and then all that information being recorded and being made digitally available. The archives platform is completely open source. We're using Drupal, which is a freely available platform online. We have a systems librarian here at Algoma University, Robin Izzard, who has custom designed basically an archival database for us, but it also has a lot of additional functionality. So the ability to share photographs, the ability for users to comment online. The idea is that eventually it will become a full online community that people are interacting with the images as well as with other users. I'm passionate about this because it really is a part of our history that we're not taught in school, and this project really does stress the importance of sharing those personal experiences and those stories. It's a hard part of Canada's history, but it's a really important part that's something that everybody kind of needs to know about because it impacts all of us.
My name is Isabel Molina. I work at the biology department at Algoma University, and I am appointed as an assistant professor and research chair in natural product biochemistry. I teach biochemistry and organic chemistry, which are usually very challenging to students and also to me as a teacher. So I try to engage my students by providing them different study cases. When I was at Michigan State, I used to mentor undergraduate students for the summer project, and usually those students would participate in my own projects in research, and they did very well. In order to develop that project, I came up with an idea, and the students tested that idea, and it was basically to explain them how a hormone act in the plant physiology, and the experiment was eventually published in an educational research magazine. Biochemistry and molecular biology are areas that are constantly changing, so I have to keep myself very well informed and up to date with all the new knowledge. And I love to bring that new knowledge to the students as well. That helps me to keep them engaged, and also I am not bored because I always have to teach something new. I am passionate about science, everything related to science. I delight in discovery in my lab, and I also delight on the discoveries that other scientists are making, so I like to be informed about current developments in science, in all aspects of science, and I also love to share my knowledge with the students. It's the best part, I think, of doing research, training the students and see how enthusiastic they are about their research and about learning and discovering new things. I think that that's the best part of my job.
My name is Jeff Elgie, and I am the founder of DIG. Before DIG, I was the founder and CEO of Lucidia. We were the largest integrated marketing communications agency in Northern Ontario. And then at the same time, and just prior to that, I was also the founder of Next Generation Consulting, which turned into N-Sci Technologies, which was an IT consulting firm. I generally know myself to love building new things. So probably in the end, I'm not the best manager in an established business, but I love kind of that entrepreneurial spirit. So that's probably a bit genetic. Both my parents have been entrepreneurs all their lives, so I've just kind of been born to it. To me, in this world, great things can come out of people who are highly engaged and energetic, and so that chaos sounds bad, but it can actually work out very well because you just keep that energy and that spirit and that momentum pushing through the work. From a leadership standpoint, in my mind, it's not so much that I'm telling them what to do, it's finding the right kinds of people, right? So it's finding self-motivated people who like what they do and bringing them together under one roof, right? So I'm here to provide the tools for them, to provide some kind of shared vision for them that they believe in, and to bring them together and manage that chaos, right, of them being together. But I don't really feel like it's my job to make them inspired people. I think it's more my job to bring those inspired people together. Everything changes so quickly that if you're not learning always and you're not kind of pushing the envelope in certain ways, then you die. You know, the business stagnates, you don't go forward. So I think to me it's always trying to keep on top of the latest technologies and always keep the team kind of learning and motivated to learn. So part of that, which is difficult sometimes, but part of that is to try to step aside from the day-to-day work and really step back and look at what's going on and see kind of where you can fit it in, how you can kind of shift the team or have them learn and get excited about that. I think a lot of entrepreneurs get caught up in the idea that they should do everything and that they can do everything well, and they don't understand maybe their true skills and what the value of those skills are. So they get buried in little tasks and little details that I think what I've learned, or I'm still learning, is that it's best to surround yourself by people that do better at the things that you don't do well, or bring in outside providers and whatnot. And so really getting a feeling for the value of your time and how you can leverage your expertise is probably the most important thing that I've learned in business in general. In all the businesses that I've been involved in and in my own personal life, the Sioux's been very important to me. So it's a place where I've been born and raised and family's here. And so I like to give back to the community, whether it's volunteering in kind services or providing donations or volunteering my own time on a whole wide range of community festivals, events, boards, academics, you name it. I think in the business, you could say it's kind of technology and solving business challenges keeps me motivated and excited because it's something there's always new things to learn, right? There's always new challenges, new obstacles to overcome. But ultimately for me, it's people. So I'm most motivated to work with great people and do well by people in terms of great work for clients or other associates. So at the end of the day, the motivation comes from keeping people happy and doing a good job.
I'm Rob Reed. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of N-Sci Technologies, and we work here at 633 Albert Street East at our new office. We're just in our 10th year. We've grown significantly over the last 3 or 4 years. We've focused on electrical and automation engineering for primarily utility-related clients, and we've had a lot of success with the renewable energy sector in the last 3 years. The most significant project is the 60 megawatts of solar farms that were built here in Sault Ste. Marie. Well, we basically have 3 lines of business. We provide regulatory support within the energy industry in Ontario. We provide electrical engineering and automation design services, and we provide revenue metering, field, and engineering services.
Before this company was started, there wasn't really anybody local that could look after metering services for anybody that wished to participate in the wholesale market. They had to go outside of the community to get that. Once Rob started up the company, we took on quite a few clients right within the city.
We've also got a number of key alliances around around Ontario and other provinces that allow us to call on them and provide services as required.
N-Sci has recently become licensed to practice engineering in the province of Alberta, and we've been developing a project in Lethbridge. Actually, it's a 130 megawatt gas-fired power plant. It's a new area for N-Sci Technologies, but we've developed a project through the stage where it's being submitted for environmental approvals and so forth. So it's been a great opportunity for us to expand our skill set. There have been initiatives in Algoma for new thermal development, and it puts us in a better position to compete for that work and to do the work here at home.
We're pretty much the only full-service electrical engineering firm in Northern Ontario that provides the mix of services that we do. And our approach to providing those services, I believe, is what makes us innovative. We customize our packages to what our clients need, and we have a very client-oriented approach. So we essentially customize every solution that we provide to a client.